10,000 tick trap. Pandas, 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 pandas. Good morning, my pandas. Welcome to my stream. I'm glad that you guys are here. Make sure you guys scalp that like button. Make sure you guys drop a GM in the chat. Hope everyone had a banger weekend. I'm Baba Money, and welcome to my stream. We trade every single day here. The E-mini every single day. With the greatest community on YouTube. Day trading like a predator. Good morning. Glitch Andrew. Good morning. David. Good morning. From Uganda. Adashi. Good morning. Mike R. Good morning. Kellyanne. Good morning. Hugh G. Rection. Hugh G. Rection. Nice. Good morning. Dylan. Good morning. Gaurav. Kumar. Good morning. Duckins. Good morning. Kevin Mack. Good morning. Wayne Bicknell, good morning, Wayne. Frank Angelo. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Carl Herman, good morning. Lace Sanawi, good morning. Timothy Chapo, good morning. Mindful Jazz, good morning. Fury, good morning. Dylan Lowe, good morning. Todd, charts match up. Thanks for the chart check. I'm feeling we're going to hit the previous day's close here and close this gap. We again open on a huge gap, make a measured move on the gap down to the pullback back down, make the measured move to the T and reverse from there. Just need to find an entry here. I mean, this is a second entry long, but you know, coming bouncing off the top of the trading range, possible double top, and yeah. If we get an entry here, maybe I do feel like we have a high chance to hit previous day's close here to close that gap. We do have a huge gap from last week as well. I mean, I have to go real far back. From last week, if you remember, we have a huge gap here. You know what? I'm gonna draw on the charts. No, I'm not sure if we're gonna really hit it anytime soon, but I feel like it has to be marked. It has to be marked here because this gap was here since Monday, and we're a week from it now, and we are far away from it. I mean, we are really far away from this gap, but that gap is there, and gaps typically get filled, and so I'm just gonna mark it. I'm just gonna keep it on the charts. And we're going to, sooner or later, I feel like fill it. Which is weird because when you look at the daily chart, just like, look at the price action. Basically, it has to come up all the way back up to here. I mean, this is where the gap is. And this is a daily chart. It has to sooner or later come back up here. And I just don't know, in terms of price action, how that's going to fit. Unless this fails to really break down. Or if it comes all the way back down, comes all the way back up to fill that gap. I'm not sure. It's weird. It's weird. I mean, huge bear bar. You're thinking follow through. Top of the trading range might come back to the bottom of the trading range. Coming off the 200 SMA. I mean, you have a lot of things saying it's bearish, and you also have the Fed being hawkish. And so, I just don't know when that gap's going to fill. I don't know how it's going to fill. I don't know when it's going to fill. I mean, most likely it's going to fill, but just don't know when. So we have a similar gap, but this one almost got filled overnight. And we are very close to it. And the reason why I think it's going to be filled is because when we look at the 10,000 tick chart, we have a trap. Right? We have a trap trade here coming up to possibly hit, to come back reverse, right? Break. Basically, you have like a break a trend new low here. Break a trend new low and coming up to reverse above the 20 MA on the 10,000 tick chart, coming to try to hit, fill this gap here. What I mean by gap, I mean literal space between the close of the previous week and the open of this week. There is a huge gap here. Now the gap has shrunk, but still there. This blue line here is a gap. We still have not filled. The reason why gaps fill is because people usually have their trades here, right? Some people went long at the close of this, thinking that maybe next week that, you know, we might have a jump up. And those people who are long here are now in this trade, and there's just like a lack of traders because all those people are just waiting for this gap to fill before they re-enter the market. And so this is why gaps fill. Typically. Market's about to open in 3 minutes. And am I looking for a two-legged here? Sure. I mean, we are at a two-legged pullback here. A, B, C. Looking for like a two-legged move going up, it seems like. This, you know, the higher low might be all you get here before we actually come and fill this gap. That might be all she wrote, but we will see. I'm just watching. Market's about to open in 3 minutes. I don't like to be in a trade, but if we have a solid reason to go long here, I'm thinking, you know, high possibility we fill this gap. If we can come down, crash back down, but I feel like we're gonna fill this gap first. I mean, it could be right now. It could be at the end of the day. I don't know. But typically, especially I mean, it's weekly gaps, right? We're talking about weekly gaps right now. They don't last very long on the futures. So, but the thing about weekly gaps is that you have to use the weekly time frame. And so, I mean, if it typically takes maybe like a week or 5 bars to fill a gap, then I don't know, maybe like 5 weeks technically. Market's about to open in 2 minutes here. I mean, what a wild ride on Friday. Absolutely insane. Just killer move to the downside. It's just insane. It's insane. After the announcement, that's all the market needed to really decide which way it wanted to go. I mean, for us, it doesn't really matter which way the market goes, as long as the market goes, right? Because we're day trading, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, yeah, it does suck for retirement funds, but for day trading, it's actually great if we get the volatility. Let's have a simple channel here, simple trend line. Market just opened, pandas. Looks like we're coming back to the bottom of the trading range here. Hope everyone's doing well. Good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. Make sure you guys scalp that like button. It helps out this channel out a lot. Multiple bull bars in a row, coming back above the 20 MA. In this trading range still. Hard for me to go long here, but it's a second entry long. It's a wonky looking one too. But it's above the 20 MA, coming off of it. higher low, second entry long here. I'll take the trap trade if it gives it to me. Give me a trap, I'll go long here. Second entry short. Signal bar is kind of large now, but potential trap trade here. Do not copy my trades in this trade. The risk is kind of large here, so that could have prevented me from entering this, but I like this. I like where we're at. I like the fact that we're probably going to go up to fill this gap, and this is a trap setup to it, especially basically with a bear trap here, reversing V bottom, thinking possibly we can come up here. 2 points. If I want to go for a 1-to-1 here, 2, 3, 4. I have to go for 4 points here. This is a 1-to-1. It's a little too long of a trade for my taste. I typically go skunk it when you have this many overlapping bars, thinking that we are getting choppy now, and so I may skunk it at the end of this bar here. It's a little too many bars. I'm out of this trade. It just took too long. It's a higher low setup, but with all this choppiness, I'm just gonna sit on my pause. It finally does burst out here and probably gonna go my way, but I didn't like how many bars it took. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars to come and to get to this point. It started becoming 50-50 to me. It finally goes this way. I skunked it. It's all good. I do not like when scalps take longer than like three bars. So it ends up giving me like that 1-to-1, which is nice. Maybe I'm being a little too conservative, too scared. Also, this signal bar required a lot of risk for me, which I typically don't like, and so had a couple of reasons why I didn't want to stay in that trade, but it ends up finally going the way I want it to go. Unfortunate, but it's all good. Came out right before the burst. I mean, when you see a bar like this, strong bear bar ending on its low and choppiness, you're thinking possibly getting stopped. That you might get stopped out here. So just trying to come out break even at this point. The risk was a little bit more than I typically like to take, but the premise is all right. We're going the right way. I just didn't like how long this took. I don't like that. I don't like having to risk 4 points and waiting for this long at this point. To me, it became too 50-50, and just skunked it. But I made a little money. I made $12. That's some lunch money. Potential trap trade here. Do I like this long? Not right into 240 SMA, but good signal bar, and it's a fail second entry short here. Really close to a target. I don't like going long right to resistance, and I'm gonna be conservative here. I don't care. It's all good. If it goes up, it goes up. I mean, it makes enough for a scalp here. That's fine. ends up going to fill this gap here. I was in this trade, but it started going a little sideways for me, and I didn't like it. Didn't like the fact that I got stopped out. I might have been able to just get stopped out and re-enter if I saw the premise was good. I'll just take the hit, but also the hit was more than 4 points, and for me, I don't like that risk. This is huge signal bar here to try to enter, and so it is what it is. I don't mind. Just moving on, next trade. Plenty of trades for us today. I'm trying to mark this trend here. Not sure if I can get it. Could be this. We do have a strong bull bar on the 5-minute chart. This is the 5-minute chart, and we can possibly come back up here. Strong bull bar, any on high on the 5-minute chart, first bar. Let's see if there's follow through. That's what I want to see on the 5-minute. To me, it's so close to filling that gap. I want to go long for almost any reason, but you know, EMA is starting to go flat. You're starting to get pinched between the 240 SMA and the 20 EMA. So I'm not going to go long on the first entry here. It's just hard. It's like kind of pinch between the support and resistance. Rock in a hard place, we'll say. Hidden second entry long here. Reason being is because it's outside bar reversal. A, B, C. Let's say it's me. Try to make a technical second entry long. Has to break the previous candle's low. Makes a micro double bottom. If it breaks the previous candle's high, it's a hidden second entry long. It just does. Pops up. It's a hidden second entry long is what caused that pop up. Unfortunately, we were not in that trade. I wanted a normal second entry long, but it gave us a micro double bottom. Didn't actually give us, right, the actual setup. And so, but it was a hidden second entry long, as I shown here. And big pop up to fill that gap finally. Strong bull bar. It's like 90% chance I'm going to fill this gap, I feel like, at this point. I feel like I can almost buy anywhere here and get filled and to scale in if it does miss it because we're just so close to filling that gap. Gap's about to be filled. Again, I feel like you can buy basically anywhere here and keep scaling in until this gap is filled. And I think you'll be okay. It's such a high chance to get this gap filled here. About like less than half, about 3/4 point away. You can buy limit orders beneath the bars. Buy at the 20 EMA. Continue to buy, keep scaling in until this is hit here. Okay, gaps filled. Gap is finally filled. Are we gonna have an uptrend day today? Huh. Didn't think about it. I'm not sure. I mean, such a strong bear bar. You're thinking there's gonna be some follow through, but who knows? Maybe it might do one of these little guys. A, B, C. Failed second entry long. So this could be a bull bar, and then yes, second entry long fails, reverses. Could do something like this, so we can actually have a bull day today and still fit within the bearish price action on the daily chart. Trying to find a trend line here. Unfortunate. I wish it ticked below the previous candle's low any point in time here, and I would have been eager to go long here, but unfortunately it does a micro double bottom instead. So market was being stingy for us there. We fill the gap, and it's kind of like no more unfinished business, but I don't know. I mean, it looks bullish right now, so. Yusuf asks if this is similar. Yep, to like a pullback. Mac from price action trading system. William Surveys asks, hey Panda, how do you get the 5-minute chart to not show the pre-market candles? Go to your data series and then go to like the trading hours and select regular trading hours. I think it's like at the very bottom. Got another two leggy here, but now we're underneath the 20 MA bouncing off a resistance. Typically, I don't like to go long when you bounce off a resistance so clearly. If anything, this could be a some sort of type of breakout trend to new high here, coming off resistance, setting up for a reversal trade. But the higher time frames look bullish to me. They look like they want to continue to go up. I mean, we look bullish here. Hard for me to go short, but this is that is a reversal setup right there. Do I want to take it? Do I want to take this reversal setup? Give me a chance to get enter there. That was a reversal setup. I was thinking we're kind of bullish, so I didn't want to go. I didn't want to short, thinking we've been bullish and might be bullish for a while, but ends up giving you a nice scalp there with a reversal setup. Shoots back up, amazing. I mean, that's just enough for a scalp. Nothing much more there. Bouncing off the 20 EMA on the higher time frames, right? 10,000 tick chart bouncing off, and the 5-minute chart's a little tricky. I mean, we're underneath the 20 EMA. We got a strong bull bar. We got an inside, basically ups, like an outside, or outside up bar. So we actually close inside the range, but it's breaks to the upside, comes back in. What am I thinking here? I don't know. I'm guessing bullish because this reversal pretty much failed. Higher low setup. Multiple wicks above the 20 EMA here. Don't know if that really means we're very bullish right now, but it could be breaker trend new low. Could look for a reason to go long here. A little tricky in my opinion. Not sure. It looks like it's going sideways at this point. We're underneath the 20 MA, so hard to go long. I don't like these wicks above the 20 EMA like this. Basically failed breakouts every time. High or low, second entry long here. It's hard to count this if you don't have the indicator, but it's a second entry long. A, B, C, right? 2 pushes down. It's a higher low second entry long. You can see that with the dark green 2. If it's dark green 1, you know it's a lower high second entry long. But if the number is higher than 1, then you know it's a higher low second entry long. I will take a failed trap here and go back up. Go back long here. If we get a failed trap, let's go long again. I think I had enough attempts to break down here. But basically triple bottom, right? 1, 2, 3 attempts to break down. We're going to try to go long here, see what happens. Also don't like how sideways it's going. It's pretty much a limit order market at this point. The limit order market might get me if I try to go long here. Coming off of resistance as well. I don't feel confident at all anywhere here. It seems like a limit order market, so it's hard for me to enter with that stop order. Ends up finally pushing down here, making that new low. I'll probably readjust this to make this break a trend new low here. Maybe come to our trend line. As we can see, we have multiple hits on this trend line already, so I think it's valid. So maybe we can have a bounce off the bottom of this trend line. This channel. Let's see. It would have to be a lot of price action. Fail second entry, short, essentially. This is what we're looking for. Strong bear bar ending on its low. Possibly bouncing off our trend line here. Or the market just said, you know, let's just fill this gap and let's just reverse off of it. That's all we need to do today. As long as we're in this channel, I feel like we have potential uptrend. I mean, we're still in this channel, still respecting it somewhat. My setup is a fail second entry short. If you're really eager, you can go in with a second entry long, higher low second entry long even. Usually the first like 5 candles on a 5-minute chart will help you know what market cycle you're trading. All right, bouncing off this trend line. It's no setup for me. I'm not going to just take off. I'm not going to just go long off the bottom of this trend line. It's a little risky because most trend lines break, actually. 80% of the time, trend lines break. 50% of the time afterwards, right? I think, or something like that. 70%, like, yeah, 50% of the time they come back in their failure. Something like that. Or like 70% of the time they come back in. I don't know, something like that. Fail breakout, coming back up, bouncing off the bottom of this channel makes me feel like we can come back to the top of the channel. I mean, it makes a higher low, first entry long, big push up, could come back to the top of the trading range. Trading range indicator still valid here. 5-minute chart, the first couple candles helps you figure out which market cycle you're in, and right now it's sideways. Strong bull bar ending on its high, and now it's sideways. So if this is a strong bull bar here, we could have a bull trend day today. Not sure. Am I looking to go long right now? This blue box here, right, with this cluster, breaks down, comes back up, bouncing off the bottom trend line. The reason why I wanted to go long is because we're bouncing off a trend line so nicely here, and it's just almost like textbook, just bounce off the trend line. Higher low. This is actually, believe it or not, A, B, C. Actually, yeah. It's a hidden something, but that's a little too complicated to... Fuck, fine, I'll just do it. It's a hidden failed second entry short. A, B, C. It pushes down. People who front run it got trapped out here. Top of the trading range. Failed hidden second entry short. I'm going to wait for an actual push up on this 3 here. And let's see if we can get some... Get us a scalp here. It's really sideways, to be honest. You know, it seems like clear trading range at the moment. Underneath the resistance. %100% of all statistics are made up. 80% of the time. Jack Story says, what is the benefit of Apex prop funding compared to others? It seems Apex expensive with monthly fees. Actually, Apex is the cheapest because of how cheap the evals are, especially with, you know, using PBM 50 with 50% off. It's like one of the cheapest ways to get into the prop firm trading. And the nice thing is there are no rules really, right? There's no you don't have to, you know, there's like no limits. You can trade max contract sizes. There's no limits on when you can trade other than, you know, basically closing all your positions before the market closes. And in terms of the support, it's great. Also, trade copier for me is the most convincing thing. So trade copier to me is the game changer by far. All right. I want this blue box. Clearly above the 20 MA here. Hitting our heads, making lower highs. I think we're bullish. I mean, it feels bullish to me, pandas. This feels really bullish to me. What can I say? I mean, it just feels bullish. Break a trend, new low. Still looking for that new high. I just don't like how we're basically potential double top. I like how the 20 EMA is rising like this. Gives me reason to want to go long here. The higher low setup might be all she wrote, and you might not get another entry here. Strong bull bar ending on high. Follow through. Yep, it is bullish. You know, I just hate how it happens, like right underneath this resistance. I hate that. I hate that. I really do hate that. I was thinking coming in long here, but outside bar reversal, didn't like that. Even though in this case, actually probably helps the case to go long. Feels like entry short, too far away from 20 MA. But it's a fail second short above the resistances. Now the resistance can act as supports here, as you guys can see. Right, we're bouncing off of this. Some eager traders might have gone long there. I'm gonna wait for another entry up here. I'm gonna look for a long trade here. The main reason being is, you know, am I even looking for a long trade at this point? I mean, I know we're in an uptrend, but doesn't mean that every long setup will work. I'm seeing a break a trend to new high. Also trend line. Right, this channel is just actually really scary accurate right now. We have room to the top of the channel still. It's a trap trade to the long side, still far away from any key area. We are bouncing off the top of this pivot here. Do I like this trade to go long? I can be patient here. I don't mind being patient. Little patience can go a long ways in trading. Yep, this is why you're patient. Big push down, back to 20 MA. So it's like, now what's happening? Are we going long? Are we looking to go long now? Like, it's a second entry long here after breakout trend to new high. Could be a failed breakout. Decent signal bar. Making things a little tricky for me. No, signal bar is not good anymore. I mean, technically, you look for a reversal trade here. Technically, this is where you look for a reversal trade. Technically, this is where you look for a reversal trade. So, I guess I'm looking for a reversal trade, and it's not giving me the setup. This is going down without me. Okay, another doji bar. On the 5-minute, we may be getting a second entry short here on the 5-minute chart. A, B, C, 5-minute chart. Potential. Two-leggy. Big push down. Might come back to the bottom of trading range. So this trading range now is pretty, seems pretty valid. The one thing I didn't like about it is the fact that we hit the top and didn't come back to the bottom. And then when we pushed up, I'm thinking, okay, it seems like there's too much bullish pressure here, and yeah, that's what I thought. But we're all the way back down, almost back to the bottom of the trading range. Tough one, tough one. Come back to the bottom of the channel. Bottom of the trade range has been hit now. Perfect hit off of it. I'm not going long here. I can't. I simply cannot go long here. I need a higher low at least. The reason being is because we have such a strong push down. Hard for me to go long on this first reversal. I need a little more evidence we're reversing here. The only problem is that the trading range is a little too small for the higher low setup. By the time the higher low setup happens, most likely will be like in the middle of the trading range. A little difficult to trade. The 5-minute second entry short does trigger big signal bar. It does seem a little sideways at the moment, right? We have basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 overlapping bars. Confusing. I almost want to go short here. I actually want to go short here. Disappointing. No follow through. Strong bear bar anyone's low. Disappointing follow through. Reverses actually. Bottom of the trading range. Possible higher low setup here. I'll go long on the higher low setup. Let's see if we get it. Fourth push down. Possible higher low setup here. Do not copy my trades. Give me a decent signal bar. We're underneath the 20 MA, but since we're in a trading range, it's okay. We need enough room to the 20 MA, which would be ideal. We can come with a retracement. Strong push down. No longer interested. I need a good signal bar for that higher low. Terrible signal bar. In fact, it looks bearish. Okay. Confusing, right? Now it's choppy. It's basically small trading range. Everything's just turning to trading ranges right now. Pushes down. Maybe a failed breakout. People with limit orders waiting down here, as you can see, pops back up. Those limit orders. 4 pushes down at the bottom of trading range. Whew. This is just a little too confusing for me. Still want a higher low. Try to keep it as simple as possible. Higher low setup, bottom of trading range. Just take it. If it doesn't work, just take the hit. If it does work, then possible decent swing trade back to the top of the trading range. Fifth push down. Huh. Pandas, hope you guys are doing well. Let me see how you guys are doing. By the way, if you're just joining, I'm Bob Money. Welcome to my channel. Glad you guys are here. Every single day we trade the E-mini, 9:15 a.m. Eastern time. Make sure you guys subscribe so you guys know every day when we stream to be notified. Let's see here. How you guys doing? I'm currently flat, no trades. Still trying to get a good grasp of today's price action and market cycle. Possible double bottom. Possible buy zone here as well. Basic bottom trading range. Higher low setup. Or fail second entry short. We're at a place where we can actually create a second entry fail second entry short here. Amazingly, because we only go one tick down here, which basically trapped a lot of traders. A lot of traders saw the strong bear bar one follow through and they got trapped here. I'm going to trade this trap here, see if we get it. It's a second entry short, but I'm going to trade the opposite here. And let's see if we can get a decent trade here. Fail second entry short. Possible buy area from this cluster of candles and this breakout. Plus bottom of the trading range. Gonna go long here. Do not copy my trades. We're underneath the 20 MA, but the reason why I'm taking this trade is because we're also bottom of a trading range. So even though we're underneath the 20 MA, I'm willing to take this trade here. You were thinking that it was going to trap out, but instead actually continues to go down here. I don't know if I want to go long anymore just because the strong bear bar. It's getting very choppy now, right? Basically another limit order market. Very hard to discern which way it's going to break out. To me, as long as we are still within, we haven't broken this zone here, I feel like we have a chance to go long in reverse. But clearly underneath the 20 MA, having a hard time to come even close to it. We haven't even touched it yet this whole time. The 5-minute chart creates a candle that is just confusing, right? Like this is the 5-minute chart right now. What are you expecting? I don't know. Strong bear bar, good signal bar. Just not much in terms of the movement here. So I'm guessing people are still waiting for fall through. This might be the fall through people are waiting for. People are just always in short now, possibly on the 5-minute. It's difficult. Complete sideways trading. Now it's 50-50. You know, even if it bursts up, I can't take a trade here. Simply can't. Finally touched the 20 MA. It's a limit order market, and I typically stay out of limit order markets. Unless I'm trading with limit orders, then you can trade this market. But I'm not trading with limit orders at the moment. It's choppy right here. Sitting on my pause. No idea what's happening. Kellyanne's onto something. Don't go long until you're above the 20 MA. It's always good to be on the right side of the 20 MA here. Even though we're like in a trading range now, the 20 MA has actually come down to us. We're going in and out of it. Finally bursting up. Amazingly creates a trap on the 5-minute chart. 5-minute trap might come back to the 20 MA. Might even come to the close according to the 5-minute on the regular trading hours. Strong bull bar ending on its high. Traders are waiting for follow through here. Currently disappointing follow through. I don't know. Not sure what's happening. It looks like it wants to go back up to the top of the trading range, especially with the trap triggering on the 5-minute chart. Thinking we can have a nice push up here, but I need a setup regardless. Doesn't matter. Big push down, no follow through. Disappointing follow through on this strong bull bar. Traders are confused, right? Bears are happy. Bulls, I don't know. They might be coming to scale in here. Limit orders. What do bulls want? Strong bear bar, but matched with a strong bull bar, basically. Higher low setup, getting choppy again. Possible two-legged pullback. It's already becoming a hidden second entry long. A, B, C. Right? None of the candles broke the previous extremes. So we're not getting these counts technically, but optically I can see that the market has moved in such a way where it's making a two-legged move. So the break of this candle's high could trigger a second entry long. But for us, it just looks like a higher low first entry long. I don't take hidden second entries on this channel typically, so I really feel strongly about it. But I have not much bias right now. It's very sideways, very choppy, very limit order market behavior. It can be in a choppy day today. Who knows? News tomorrow. There's going to be news tomorrow. Let me see. So there's going to be the consumer confidence number and JOLTS job openings all at 10 o'clock tomorrow, Eastern time. That'll happen during stream. And also you have non-farm employment change happening on Wednesday at 8:15 a.m. Eastern time. And then you have ISM manufacturing PMI happening on Thursday at 10 a.m. And then finally 8:30 the unemployment rate, which is going to be the big one. The Friday news I think is probably the biggest out of all of these, but that's what we're waiting for. Today there's no news actually, so I wouldn't be surprised if on the daily chart we come back down and we just have a pause bar here and the market wants to see follow through. They want to see if we're going to have follow through here and if this is going to close underneath basically the body of this candle here. So with that hidden second entry long does work out. It's just absolutely choppy messiness, and I just don't mess with this. Like I mentioned already, A, B, C is a hidden second entry long, and when this candle breaks at the top of this candle, it's going to act like a second entry long, which it did, and it scalped out, right? Basically making a break of trend to new high here. Also just a higher low setup to come back to the top of the trading range coming off our buy area, which I marked over here. So we had this buy area, and I said as long as we don't break beneath this buy area, we have potential to come back up. That's exactly what's happening here. 5-minute traders may be always in long soon after this candle forms. If it's a strong bull bar, the 5-minute chart traders may be always in long, and they might be always long at least maybe to the 20 EMA. Top of the trading range, coming off the previous day's close again. It's hard to say. I mean, we're obviously in a trading range right now, so we're gonna break out here. I don't trade breakouts, so I'm not sure. Notice the trading range indicator on the 2000 tick chart just marking beautifully for us the trading range that we've been in basically since market open. Has marked this trading range from way back here and has been tracking it the entire time. Amazing. Bottom of the trading range to top of the trading range, back to the bottom of the trading range. That's just how it works. Amazing. Oh my. Just mind bending. Even though it's a trading range, you still look for setups in the trading range. Typically, just don't trade the bottom and tops. Some people do, which is amazing. And I just, I'm not, good enough for that, to be honest. But, for me, I like to have a setup at least. Feels like you can do short or even a higher low, which is what we see here. But look how choppy it is. This is very hard to trade this, in my opinion, at the moment. Licensed paint huffer asks, how do you know which news will affect the markets? Typically, whatever you use to look at your news, it'll tell you if it's high impact. I just use the Apex one. There's like one that comes with a plugin where you have to install in order to have the trade copier. It comes with like a free news, little, I guess, plugin, but
10,000 tick trap.
Back to the top of the trading range. Bottom of the trading range, back to the top. This bounces right off of it perfectly. Possible double bottom. Possible double top. 10,000 tick trap, as you heard. The indicator telling us that there's a 10,000 tick trap. There's a trap here on a 10,000 tick chart. Beautiful here. Could be a nice launch here. Not a nice blast here that we might get. For me, as long as we're in this trading range, it's very hard for me to go long. Very hard for me to go long, as long as we're in this trading range. Like, very hard for me to go long top here. Very hard for me to go short near the bottom. But also hard for me to go short at the top because at any moment it can break. And I just need a setup, right? I need like at least a lower high setup. The second 10K chart, Pikachu trade, triggering. Whew, this could be a big move up here. I mean, we've been trading range for most of the day so far, but that could trigger something big. Making a new high. Tough trade, tough trade. This actually is another second entry long, but it's a hidden second entry long. A, B, C. It actually makes a second entry long right here. Good signal bar. It's just unfortunate that it creates with the outside bar reversal. Super annoying, super frustrating. also over time, you kind of just get experience and you know which news items are big ones. Like unemployment numbers are big, CPI numbers are big, inflation is big. What else? There's a lot of ones. There's a lot of big. There's kind of like, as you just look at the news, you see like, okay, I see that. That's gonna be a big one. That can have big impact on the market. I guess that just comes with experience. I feel like the market might be always in long, but the market cycle today has shown us, right, with the 5-minute chart, I mean, it's been very choppy, very choppy. But I mean, what can I say? The first setup really that happens on the 5-minute chart is it fails second entry short and reverses, and this has been reversing ever since, really. The 10,000 tick chart, two strong bull bars ending on their highs. You're thinking always in long on the 10K chart. And we're above the 20 MA. Potential second entry long here. Potential second entry long. Micro double bottom. Micro double bottom here. I kind of want to go long, but I'm a sucker for trends. Like when I think there's a trend, strong bear bar and near its low, it's make me not as eager to go long here. But we may be coming to key area. Another thing we see here is a breaker trend new high. But if we're in an uptrend, then it doesn't matter, right? These reversal patterns don't really matter. Strong bull bar. The risk is large now, and we're starting to overlap the previous candle, the range of the previous candle. So we are potentially creating a trading range here. The signal bar ends up being too large for me, and basically inside bar. 4 points. It's kind of close to the EMA, so some credence here to go long. Trap may trigger here to go short. I'll take a higher low second entry long here. I'll take the higher low second entry long here. Right, basically failed reversal attempt. We're also about to hit our heads on the 20 EMA on the 5-minute chart, which is scaring me. Connect as resistance. I'm gonna try to scalp here. Higher low second entry long. It will be basically banking on the fact that I'm thinking we're gonna uptrend now. I just don't like it. I'm sorry, pandas. I don't like any of these trades. I don't like any of these setups. I don't like the fact that we've been in a trading range for better half of today already. I don't like the fact that this is creating these wicks above here. And yeah, I just don't like it. I don't like the fact that we're so close to the 5-minute 20 EMA. Don't like that either. The 10K chart, possible, always in long. We do make a scalp off that second entry long. It's a failed reversal and basically higher low second entry long. So A, B, C ends up working out. I mean, the risk, I mean, if you use this as the risk, it's not that bad and it ends up being a nice scalp here. I just don't like how I'm basically trying to bank on the fact that I think we're trending now when we've been in a trading range for most of the day so far. Right? We've been in trading range this entire time. And it's kind of, I didn't realize this, but we have a nice gap here. This gap here could be the end of the story. Could be all she wrote, telling us that we are in a strong bull trend. Can't even come back to fill the gap on this pivot high. That could be some hints that we might be in an uptrend day today. I don't know. I don't know. Nice push up here, maybe, from this trap. We do have a gap here, pandas, and this gap could be strong. A strong signal that we may have a strong uptrend. Again, the big reason why I'm having a hard time going long here is because 20 EMA on the 5-minute chart is right above us. So, makes it difficult, but I don't know. I don't know. Hey, pandas, you know what's nice? Even though I'm confused, we can be confused together. At least we have a community we can be confused with. Knowing that we're not alone. Knowing we're not alone. Make sure you scalp that like button. Dap. Oh, this is tempting. This is tempting. It's making me want to go long, really long here. It makes me really want to go long. It's very tempting. Tempting long, staying above the 20 EMA. This gap here, obvious gap, obvious strength in the bulls right now. But right now it's choppy. Limit order market. But I want to go long. I almost want to buy with the limit order. I almost want to take this full retracement. I don't even care. Thinking how bullish this looks. Going completely sideways again. But staying above the 20 MA. Bullish sign. 5-minute chart. About to create a second entry short here. Whoo-wee. Looks bullish. It looks bullish to me. I mean, this still looks pretty bullish. I just, as long as we have this gap here, it's going to look bullish to me. When we fill this gap, then we're going to be like, okay, premise might change. We have a gap here from this pivot high to this pivot low. People coming out, other trades here break even. Those who went long here came out break even right there. Once they saw this reversal, this came out saying this is a gift from God to come out break even. Boy, oh boy. Second entry short, possibly off the 5-minute 20 EMA. This is why I didn't want to go long here, because of this 20 EMA approaching, the 5-minute approaching the 20 EMA here. Very confusing. I mean, still looks kind of bullish to me. I don't know. Like I said, as long as we have this gap here, it's going to look bullish to me. I want to go long here in a second. Just long. Too choppy. Really choppy. Hard to tell. Hard to tell what's happening. But pandas, notice one thing I said. This buy zone, this was a buy zone because of this candle breakout, right? It came back to the bottom, came back to the buy zone and launched off of it. And it's been a pretty good trade since. This is a second entry long, decent signal bar, inside bar though. Again, hard to go long because of the 5-minute 20 EMA can be acting as resistance here. People are maybe front running it, even coming short here a little early. That's what we're seeing through the price action. Potential reversal trade here is just way too choppy for me. The bars are way too overlapping. So even with this reversal setup, I'm not going to take it because of how choppy we've been. Any of these can be failed breakouts coming back into the trading range. So for me, I'm going to skip this trade. I don't like it. In fact, I'll probably try to go long if we have a failed breakout. Right? If this gives me a good signal bar to go long, I might go back long into this trading range. The gap's about to be filled here. Right? Coming back to touch the top of this pivot. Let's see if it touches it. Does touch it, does tap it. Creates a negative gap. That's what Alpoost will call this. The gap has been filled, essentially. Bouncing off the previous day's close. Potential coming back into this trading range. Or it could be a reversal and we can come crashing back down. Either of those could be very possible at this point. But you have some things going your way where you have the previous day's close acting as support, right? Clearly bouncing off of it. Trading range, you know, most trading range failed to break out. Higher low setup may be the setup here, but hard to say. There's actually still a gap here as well. Big gap here as well. Let's try to get some bamboo today. Let's see if it's possible. Let's see if we get it. H4 setup potential here. People buying with limit orders. Another limit order market. Again, getting choppy. Very difficult to trade this. At least very difficult to see what's going to happen. It's basically becoming 50-50. H4 setup. May drip here. May have some serious drippage. Strong bear bar ending on slow. Like I mentioned, 5-minute 20 EMA. This is why I didn't want to go long here because of this. And I saved myself a lot of money for not going long there. Ignoring all this. Basically trying to just stay away from all this chop. Stay away from a trade. When I start seeing overlapping bars that look like this, it starts to have doji bars like this. You're just like, limit order market. It's hard for me to see what's going to happen here. Even though we're clearly above the 20 EMA, it looked very bullish to me. I'm just like, well, it looks bullish. It feels bullish. But it's also choppy, so. This could have easily broken out. And people probably been upset with me not entering trades here, saying, you know, say this trap actually was nice for a nice breakout. People might be upset for skipping that because when they see in hindsight bias, oh, that was a good setup because it worked out. No, that's not the case, right? Even bad setups work out. And so, you know, this is why I skip so many trades that quote unquote work out. There's absolute choppiness here. 5-minute candle. It's pretty strong bear bar ending on its low. 10K chart just hitting the 20 EMA here. So 10K chart in terms of, you know, its bullishness, still not much has changed. I mean we kind of basically have this nice channel working on the 10,000 tick chart. I don't know, something like this, maybe something like this. Yeah, something like that. Bouncing off, not even feeling this gap again. Very confusing. H4 setup. Huh. Hard to say what's going to happen. I still don't know. Seems like most of you guys are making some money today, which is nice. I mean, technically, I've made money today. I made $12.50, technically. So I'm actually in the third, in the poll, the third option. I've made some money. So technically, I'm green today, pandas. So, I'm just saying. They're bamboo leaves. All right, it's not full on bamboo, but they're bamboo leaves. But hey, it's still green. $5-minute, having follow through on the strong bear bar ending on its low. Could be always in short at this moment. But like I mentioned, most of the day we've been showing trading range. Most of the day on the 5-minute, first few candles showing us trading range. So it made me not want to really continue this uptrend and potentially, getting chopped up here. Trying to go long here, thinking, okay, we're not obviously uptrend. Let's just keep going long. But you got to recognize the market cycle today. It was not it. That was not it. Follow through on the 5-minute candle. If this follow through is, yeah, could be always in short, but I mean also trading range. So not sure if always in short, always in long traders are really looking for that today. They might have recognized early on the chop on the 5-minute, saying, I'm not going to go always in long, always in short today. I'm going to keep trading with limit orders, something like that. I don't know. You tell me. Coming back to this buy area, but I don't think the buy area will necessarily be good for us. But we'll see. Balancing off the 240 SMA. I mean, what's the setup we're looking for, pandas? I mean, are we looking for a second entry short off the 20 MA? Is that what you guys are looking for? This is your time to trade. If we get a setup near the 20 EMA in this current downtrend, what would you do here? Breaking through now. I really don't think this area will hold it again the second time. It could. It looks like it might be. If you saw a setup happening near the 20 MA here, what would you do? This area is about to break. No setup for us. It's a straight downtrend. Like I mentioned, 5-minute traders may be always in short after they saw this follow through, strong bear bar, follow through, always in short until they feel like it's no longer. Right, they're buying the close, scalping. If you get a setup here, would you take the short trade? It looks very bearish, but notice we have all this price action here, and we can just get caught up here very easily. Very, very easily. Whew. No interest for us. Straight shot down. No entries for us. Hard to enter this, right? There's no entries really. I mean, if you're just thinking bare leg in the trading range, then sure. It's quite a large trading range. 10,000 tick chart showing a big trading range here. I mean, it can come back to the overnight lows. I mean, quite possibly. Overnight lows way down here. But sure, why not? I mean, I've seen crazier things happen. Boy, oh boy. I mean, I don't know. Would you take a second entry short here if we saw a two-legged pullback? I put a poll up for you guys, and you guys can vote and see what happens. Are you guys looking for a second entry short here off the 20 MA? Strong bear bar, any near its low on the 5-minute again. Always in short. People just selling, selling, selling. Nice Smith asking, what is a second entry short? If you want to know our setup that we're looking for, we trade pure price action here. If you want to know the setup, you can go to the description below. There are playlists going over the setups. But basically, a second entry short is an entry after a two-legged pullback. So when you have two legs like this is the first pullback. We call this the first entry, second pullback, and then we want to enter into the second entry. You want to enter here. That's our second entry short. Typically, we want to find this near the 20 MA on a strong trend. Okay, going sideways now. Potential second entry short here, pandas. Potential second entry short. Are we taking this, pandas? I put the poll up. Potential second entry short here. It needs to break the previous candle's high in order to be official second entry short setup off of the 20 EMA. There it is, pandas. Two pullbacks. Two-legged pullback. This is the setup we always been waiting for. Will you be going short here? Strong downtrend. Best kind of signal bar you can really ask for here at this point. Enough room, barely enough room back to the bottom here, but just enough room to the bottom of the trading range in this trade. Second entry short, off the 20 MA, strong downtrend. Let's see what happens. The risk being you know, decent. About a little bit more than our reward here, 2-point reward. Let's go, baby. Easy peasy, easy money. Let's go, baby. Got that bamboo. The reason why also is because we started creating a trading range here. And so this was a failed breakout of the trading range. So you also had a second entry short with a failed breakout, 20 EMA, good signal bar, downtrend. I mean, that's just, come on. That is some textbook second entry short trading. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. If you had a runner, your runner would be good right now. But I'm only trading one contract, so no runner. James Crow asks, do I have videos on setup? Yep. Go to my channel and just look for Ninja Trader settings, something along those lines, and you'll find it. Five contracts. Runner gets hit. Oh, pandas. Feels good. Feels good. We are back green here. We are looking good on stream. Been trading pretty well on stream the last couple weeks. Overall, pretty green. If you're a panda, you'll know. I have one Apex funded account that I'm like solely dedicating to just stream trades. And I turn it off, the trade copier on it, when I trade off stream. And so, you know, people know how well we're doing. I mean, technically, you can go back, look at all my streams, and try to add it all up. But this makes it a little bit easier to track, I guess. Oh, pandas. Hey. Make sure you guys trade safe. Scalp that like button, and yeah, I'm gonna wrap up here. I'll see you guys, Brian, early tomorrow, 9 o'clock for the pre-market show for members only, and then 9:15 for the mainstream. I'll see you guys all there. As always, happy trading, and God bless. Got my bamboo. Bye.